So welcome everyone to how to get clarity about what you want in life and get the results that you desire. I'm Lara Young. We'll just wait for people to arrive for the webinar. We've still got a couple of minutes before we start. I can see some of you arriving already, which is great. So welcome. We've got Mary here, and who else have we got? We've got Liz again. Hi, Liz. Brilliant. So welcome everyone, and I'm really looking forward to getting started on the webinar. So today, as you probably know, we're going to be talking about getting clarity, and it's a really good idea. In the email I sent out with the reminder link, it's a really good idea just to have a pen and paper handy, and so that you can take notes throughout the webinar itself. There will be a number of points that you might want to write down during the course of the webinar, and so you can just jot those down, have those handy, and you'll also get a your downloadable worksheet after the webinar as well. So you'll be able to use that to complete some of the activities that we're going to go through today. So just again, waiting for everyone to arrive. Got some more people coming. Hi there, there's Jane's on, Grace is on, which is great, and we've got Michelle as well. So brilliant, and it seems like we've got people from across the world, which is brilliant as well. I know that this webinar is over a number of different time zones, so thank you very much for coming and attending. And I think it is top of the hour, so we are going to begin. So as I say, this webinar is how to get clarity about what you want in life and to get the results that you desire. So a little bit about me, just to begin. My name's Lara Young, and I'm really passionate about helping people to achieve their personal and professional potential. As my background is that I've been a coach, course facilitator and designer for over 20 years. I worked for many years in the corporate world. I'm originally from Australia, and my last job in Australia before I moved to the UK in 2002 was I was the National Change Manager for a joint venture organisation. And my role there was really to not only help facilitate and manage physical change for the organisation, but also really to help people cope with psychological changes that they were going through and that were happening in the organisation at the time. So in 2002, I moved to the UK, where I spent the next 12 years, and I worked in a number of different organisations, predominantly in human resources, organisational development, leadership development type roles, and then moving into global HR director and global head of talent roles whilst I was over there. And it was a fantastic experience. I got to travel around the UK and Europe and the US. And my last role, in fact, in the corporate world was I took it because I wanted to work with someone who would be a real mentor to me, just someone who I really admired. And so I took a job, and the chap was fantastic. I really had a lot of respect and admiration for him. And at that time in my career, I was really ready to work with a leader who, you know, I really aspired to be like. He had a lot of skills and qualities that I wanted to develop, and I knew that I could learn a lot from him. So I took on that role, and it was a role based in London, and it was an international role. And around about 6 months into me being there, we had a leadership conference in the US, and I went over, and during that conference, my mentor dropped the bombshell that he was leaving the organisation. And for me, that was a moment of, I guess, a time to get real clarity in my own life about what did I want to do. It was a bit of a tipping point, if you like, in terms of what direction I'd head in. So I gave it a bit of thought, and I recognised that really I had gone to that organisation to work for him and for him to be a mentor to me, and that wasn't going to happen. And so I took the opportunity then to start my own consulting business. So in 2006, I started my own consulting business, Somersault Consulting, and I also started my coaching and retreats business. And it seemed at the time like quite a leap of faith. I had a 3-month notice period that I worked out. And during that time, I sort of started behind the scenes to think about, what was I going to do? What was the shape of the consulting business going to look like and be? And just to get real clarity, I guess, about what I was going to do. And on the Friday that I left the organisation, I was at Leaving Drinks in Canary Wharf in London. And I was standing there having a conversation with some colleagues, or then ex-colleagues of mine. And I overheard someone in the group behind me talking about how they needed someone to run or design and develop a performance management and reward system in their organisation. And I turned around and I said, well, listen, I can do that. And so after a long tender process and putting proposals together and meeting with them, I actually was awarded the contract to do that. And from there, that was with the O2 Arena in the UK. And from there, I really just got work through word of mouth and had a really, really great time working in some fabulous organisations, designing and delivering leadership development programs and talent management for emerging potential. And alongside that, I was also, because I'm really passionate about people generally and helping them to reach their potential, I recognised that when I was coaching people in business, there was also huge scope for them to develop in their personal lives. And traditionally what happens is when you have a conversation with someone, it's pretty hard not to talk generally about the rest of their life as well. So I found that, I was getting into coaching the whole person, if you will. And so I really, having been a trainer of coaches before as well, I really, enjoyed and thought, well, the next step for me, loving coaching, is to also run a coaching and retreats business. So I then created, at the same time as my consulting business, Design Your Fabulous Future. So that was running retreats, live retreats, and also doing coaching work with people. And to run this business, I was hiring country houses in England, and I was, for the weekend, and running these retreats. And I pretty soon realised that the money that I was spending each month on hiring these houses, I could actually rent a place in the countryside and have a retreat space of my own. And so that's what I did. And I put it out there, and I then moved into a house in the lovely Vale of Belvoir, directly opposite Belvoir Castle, and you can see a photo of that there. And I rented a property to create a retreats business in. And because I'm someone who's passionate about a lot of things, I ended up doing more than that. So the house actually became a 5-star guest house with a glamping ground. And so then I also love writing. So I was running some creative writing courses, also some cookery courses as well. And because we recognised we had a great location and what a fabulous place for people to get fit and healthy in not just their mind, but also their body, started running fitness boot camps. I wasn't actually running the fitness part. We had a team of fantastic trainers to do that. I was running the coaching sessions, so helping people really make that transition around their health and wellness. So at the same time, I was also running programs and developing leadership programs over in places like Las Vegas. And throughout the time at Vale House, and I still have an interest in it, even though I'm back in Australia now, we won Best Guest Accommodation in 2013 and really developed into a great 5-star property. I also started cooking on the radio, which sounds a bit weird. I mean, basically what you have to do is cook a recipe, have a chat, and you make noises of breaking eggs and things like that. I also became a judge on the British Pie Awards. I love food. I'm a foodie. And then I also set up something called Graze the Vale, which is a weekend food festival in the Vale of Beaver. So I was doing quite a lot of things, and the things that I was doing was as a result of, I guess, getting really clear about what I wanted. And it was a journey and a process as well in terms of the clarity in my, in my life, in terms of what I wanted to do and be and have. So on the personal front, during this time, and I guess for most of my life, I've always seen myself as being a mother. And that's always been very clear to me. But for whatever reason, I've not been in the right place at the right time to fall pregnant or in a relationship or what have you. And so I made the decision in October 2012 to actually start the adoption process in the UK. And at the time I was 45, and so I was an older mother, and I was single as well. And I started adoption process, and my social worker said to me, well, you're not going to get girls and you won't get babies. And I knew through the processes that I use in my coaching practice and retreats and everything, that I was very clear about what I wanted. And I wanted girls, and I wanted to have them as young as I could possibly have. And in my adoption preparation group, there were lots of young couples, in their late 20s and their 30s. And I could have very easily thought, well, it's impossible, it's not going to happen for me. But I held this vision in my mind, and I created some symbols, and just really got clear about the vision of my two daughters. And anyway, in the November of 2013, my daughter Grace came at 18 months, and in February 2014, my second daughter Sarah arrived at 12 weeks old. So people at the time, I was a mother of 2 under 2 by that stage, in a pretty quick succession. People at the time said to me, be careful what you wish for. And my response to that was, well, I am careful. And so today's webinar is in part about that, getting clear about what you want and then putting it out there, getting it out there and getting clear. So my intention for this webinar is to share with you just one of the many processes I've used to create the life of my dreams so that you can do it too. You can see there a photo of my daughter Grace playing in the water, and this is where I live now. I'm back living by the beach in Australia. That's my backyard down in the bottom right-hand corner. And what I'd like you to do is just to stay tuned, because I do have a special bonus as my gift to you for participating in the session with me. So let's get started. We're going to begin with the 6 stellar clarity questions, and here's where you'll need a pen and paper. And as I say, there will be a downloadable worksheet that you'll be emailed at the end of the webinar. The reason for this is that throughout this session, I'd really just like you to kind of listen and absorb the rationale behind the questions. Ideas will come up for you, but then really, once you get the worksheet, print it off and really sit down and focus and concentrate. Now, the question really is, how do you like your eggs? And this comes from a movie called Runaway Bride, which has Julia Roberts in it and Richard Gere. And in this film, Julia runs away, as the title would suggest, runs away from the altar several times, and Richard Gere chats to her. He's a reporter coming to investigate. And he asks her the question, how do you like your eggs? And every time that she answers, it's different depending on the person who she's with. So she always likes her eggs scrambled. She likes her eggs scrambled if she's with one person. She likes them poached if she's another person. And so the 6 stellar clarity questions really are about how do you like your eggs. And this is the first process. It's one of the first steps that you can use to getting clarity. It's not the only one, of course. There are many processes, and I'm going to share some others in future webinars, as well as in my Your Life, Your Way e-course. But these 6 questions provide a starting point for getting clear about what you want. Take the time to answer them fully and then reflect upon what emerges. The downloadable worksheet will be sent through after the webinar so you can record your thoughts. For now, just relax, see what comes up for you as the questions are presented. So grab a pen and paper and let's get started. The first question is, what makes you happy? What do you love doing? I mean, this seems pretty simple on the surface, to ask yourself what makes me happy and what do I love doing. Some people find this not as easy to answer as potentially it may seem to be when you first read that question. So take your time. It's fabulous information to have when you're thinking about what you want in life, because you've got to do more of what makes you happy. It makes sense, right? Do more of what you love in life. Put some thought into it, because there's no rush. Ideas will come to you over the following days, and just write down your answers and be really specific. It's helpful if you can tap into your feeling of happiness, and then the inspiration will flow. Write your list, and the list of what makes you happy and what do you love doing is fantastic, because all you need to do is refer to it and do more of what's on it. Go to the places you love going to, spend time with people you love, do things that make you happy. Go skipping, play dress-ups, play pass the parcel. I looked after my nieces and my 2 daughters on Monday, and we had a pretend birthday party for one of the teddy bears. And it just gave me such pleasure and joy seeing the children playing with dress-ups. We had a pass the parcel and skipping around. And this question really helps, I think, helps you to evoke, if you can evoke those feelings of being a child and being really happy doing things and immersed in things, it will really help you to clarify what makes you happy and what do you love doing. The second question is, what are your greatest achievements in life so far? And I'd like you to write an achievement log. And essentially what this is it's a list of everything that you have achieved, done, been able to complete in your life. So you've learned a lot, right? You've learned to walk, talk, going through this with my first daughter at the moment. She's walking and she's starting to talk. You've learned to read and write. You learned skipping. You learned how to be great in relationships. Just think about all the achievements you have in relationships. You know, what sort of a mother, sister, father, friend are you? What roles do you play in your life, and what have you achieved in those? Perhaps you're a parent as well. What qualifications have you acquired throughout your life? You know, you've gone through school and high school, maybe you've gone to college or university. What about travel? Travel's a big one, isn't it? Traveling helps us to get out of our comfort zones and explore new cultures, and that's a great achievement. Learning to drive is another one. And by the way, these are just examples. They may not feature on your list, but I'm just giving you some inspiration. Another achievement might be getting a job or getting a promotion, or like me, starting my own business. Some of your achievements may involve some of the obstacles that you've had to overcome, like being an older single mother wanting to adopt. Maybe it's about having manifested your desires. There are lots of things that you've achieved in your life so far, and this question really helps you to clarify those and to look back and realize how amazing you are. And it also helps you to get clarity about all the things that you can do in your life. Okay, we'll move on. The next question is, if you could do, be, or have anything you wanted, what would you choose? There's an old saying, the world's your oyster, and a good friend and I always say the world's your lobster, because we figure, well, oysters aren't really big enough. So the world is your lobster. What would you choose to do, be, or have? To help you with this question, think about what sort of things are you attracted to? What sort of people, material possessions, what do you want more of in your life? Think back again to childhood. What did you want to do or be when you grew up? A lot of us, have conversations when we're younger about what career or what work we want to go into. For some of us, it's about being a parent. But have a think about, what did you want to do when you were growing up that perhaps you've lost sight of or you've forgotten about? And again, the answers to this question will most likely, come up for you, not just now, but, over the next few days. The important thing as well when thinking about this question is that cast aside the shoulds, the excuses, any limiting beliefs, and let the answers arise. What do I mean by that? Well, sometimes in life, people can live in a sense of, I'm not at cause, I'm not in charge of my life. And so they live on what's called the effect side of the equation. So things happen to you, you're powerless to do anything. It's other people's fault, and there's always a reason why you haven't done something. No one in my family ever went to university, or I'm just big boned. Cast aside the shoulds, I shoulda, coulda, woulda. Should have done that, or I could have done that, or I would have done that. And actually think about, what do you want outside the context of any of those excuses, reasons why not, or any limiting beliefs. I'm too old, I'm not starting early enough, I haven't got this degree, I haven't got enough money, whatever it might be. Other people do it, but I can't. If you could do or be anything you wanted, what would you choose? So get really clear about that, answer those questions. And again, we deal a lot more with limiting beliefs in things like coaching or the Your Life, Your Way program. Question 4, what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? This is a great question, and I love to ask it of my coaching clients. In this context, your success is guaranteed. So what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? You're guaranteed to succeed. What would you do? Fear of failure is actually one of the most common fears expressed by my coaching clients. And they'll say to me, what if I fail? And my response is always, well, what if you succeed? And actually just thinking about success changes your state emotionally, changes your response. Think about it in the context of positive results, of success happening. And I love this little picture. What if I fall? Oh, but my darling, what if you fly? And, I think very much in life, we prevent ourselves from doing things because we suspect that there might be some negative consequences. What if I make a fool of myself? What if it doesn't turn out as planned? What will people think of me? And invariably the reality is that people aren't really looking at you, thinking about you in that way. And if you've got a supportive group or a supportive tribe around you, they want your success as well. So take some time answering this question, because it will really open up some insights for you into if the fear of failure was removed, getting out of your comfort zone, what would you do? The next one's a great one as well. So if you're given $1 billion, what will you do with it? And this actually is the if money was no object question. And this removes one of those barriers or blocks or reasons why not. So money is no object. Money is not an excuse or a reason why not. So take time to reflect on this one. $1 billion. Can you even imagine what that would look and feel like? Of course you can. So let's get writing. What would you do with it? So some people, for example, want to focus on, acquiring some different material possessions. So they might want a new car or a new home. They might want to travel more. They might want to go out and be very generous with friends and family. And maybe if you play the lotto, you might already have done a similar exercise to this, writing down, well, I'd buy mum and dad a house and I'd pay off so-and-so's mortgage. I'd give so much to charity, set up a charitable foundation. What sort of charity would you set up? You might hire a personal trainer or hire a personal chef. Look, the world's your lobster with this question as well. So work out, determine what you would do with that $1 billion. If you use Excel, grab a spreadsheet and work it out down to the last cent. You may put some money aside into investments. When you're doing this, answering this question, and again, I suggest that you wait till you've got the worksheet and you can sit down and have some quiet time to actually do it. Just think about all those things that come up for you and play with it a bit. You know, this is about dreaming, you know, imagining, using that wonderful power of imagination that we all have and thinking, what would I do with all this money? Maybe you want to divide it into different categories about what you do with it. Concentrate as well on the feelings that emerge as you complete the exercise and focus on the ones that feel good. I know for me personally, one of the best feelings that I get when I think about, you know, money or generosity is actually, you know, giving a gift, that feeling of giving someone something that they're actually going to really love or be surprised by and delighted by. So focus on that. Now, the interesting thing about this exercise as well is that when you write down all the things that you would do, be, or have buy with $1 billion, interestingly, if you go back through that list, there are some things that you could start doing now, that you could start planning for, budgeting for. For example, if you wanted to, when you're a billionaire, have a charitable foundation, and you've described it in full detail, maybe there's something that you can be doing now to actually give to charity, or to, you know, give your time to charity. It doesn't have to be money. If you wanted to, you know, travel more, that's something that you can factor into everyday life. This $1 billion question gives you real clarity, again, about what you want in life. And it also gives you some insight into actually what are you not doing now that because you think you don't have enough money, that you could actually be doing, and, you know, really enjoying these aspects or these things in your life. Just think about that one. The next question is, who inspires you? Who do you most admire? Now, this is a wonderful role model question. So it might be, for example, you really admire your grandma. Maybe she makes great cannolis, or maybe it was a primary school teacher who was really kind, or, you know, someone who really motivated you when you're in those early learning years. Perhaps it's your boss, you know, like my boss was a great mentor to me. Your neighbour, it may be your partner that you really admire. And let's hope that if you have a partner, a husband or a wife, that you do admire some qualities in them. It could be public figures, could be someone in the entertainment industry or the arts, writers, authors. It could be charities, you know, people who do a lot with charitable foundations. You could admire some political leaders, past and present, sports people. So there are lots of people that you can think about for this question. You know, who do I really admire? People that I both have known personally, and also people that I know through their public persona. And what are the qualities that they have that I really respect and think are fabulous? And the good news is that when you do this exercise, the qualities that you admire about other people are actually qualities that you have in yourself. The law of attraction says that like attracts like, and we cannot recognize great qualities in other people unless we have them in ourselves. And so my challenge, I guess, for this question for you is to really cultivate and apply those qualities in your life. Get real clarity about what you offer the world, about all the wonderful things that you embody and that you have. And maybe some of the qualities you've written down you think, actually, I don't have, and you want to develop those further. And that's great, because that's giving you more clarity about what you want and who you want to be. And, you know, that's a wonderful space to be in, having clarity about who you want to be in life, what you want to represent, what you want to give out and put out into the world. So they are the 6 clarity questions, the 6 stellar clarity questions. And that is just one process that I find really useful to go through when I start to think about what do I want. And when I start to think about, you know, maybe I know a little bit what I want, but I'm stuck. I don't know where to begin. So remember, when you receive the email, download that worksheet, and the worksheet's got all the questions on it for you, and write down the answers to those questions. So my intention today was to get you started on the road to clarity so that you can begin to move forward. So let's keep going. You've started. Let's keep going where we've started. So we've covered a first step. Remember, it's not the only process for getting clear, and I'll be sharing some more processes in future webinars and also on the Your Life, Your Way program. So what's next? Well, you're now a little clearer and a little closer to defining the life of your dreams across all areas of your life. And you certainly will be even more closer once you've completed the downloadable worksheet. There are more tools, tips and resources on the Design Your Fabulous Future website, things like one-to-one coaching, there's courses, retreats, and there's other resources as well. So there's things like ebooks, etc., that can really help you to get clarity. There's a great quiz in there as well. If you take the quiz, it's all about working out which area of your life is a great starting place for you in terms of designing your fabulous future. You get a free mini ebook with that. So if you haven't already taken the quiz on the website, I'd encourage you to go over and do that. So now I'd just like to highlight for you a special offer and some other resources. And then I'll be taking questions and letting you know about some future webinars that are coming up. So I've mentioned it a couple of times. The Your Life, Your Way program is a program that I'm really passionate about. It's a program that I've developed based on the coaching tools and techniques that I use. It's also based on things like law of attraction. It uses some neuro-linguistic programming as well. I'm a trainer of neuro-linguistic programming and hypnotherapy, and it really balances out the relationship between conscious and unconscious mind, looking at things like beliefs and values. And it really helps you to get absolutely clear about what you want in life. And it also helps you to take some steps, you know, to get there. Sometimes the problem is we know what we want, but we're stuck. We don't know how to move forward. And this program is all about helping you get to that place. Your Life, Your Way really is the next step to clarity, courage, and change in your life. Sometimes we know what we want, but we're too afraid to take the next step, or to, you know, to leave our job, or, you know, get out there on the dating market, or whatever it is. You know, it's sometimes it's about cultivating that courage that we need to change as well. So through this program, you'll move from I don't know what I want to crystal clear clarity across every area of your life. It's jam-packed full of activities about getting clear and then about moving forward. You'll go from where do I begin to knowing the exact next steps to take and when to take them. I think having that sense of planning is really important, and to be really clear about what will work for you in terms of creating the life that you want to live is just so essential. And the tools and techniques I share, ones I've used myself, and I know that they work. Through the program, you'll also align your intentions, your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs so that manifesting what you want becomes a breeze. I'm really passionate about the law of attraction and the positive and powerful impact that it can have in people's lives. And certainly I've seen it at work very much in my own life. And this program provides an introduction to the law of attraction, and each week we focus on doing some activities that really call upon source and upon our power to actually bring things, manifest things into our life. And I know that a lot of people who've been on the program before have really enjoyed those sessions and those elements, because it's about having a bit of fun as well, which is great. You'll learn the tools and techniques I have used to create my own dream life. You know, it is really about helping you to, you know, make some great decisions, take some great action, and just really get into being you and getting really clear about what you want. So in terms of, you know, what happens after the program, so I go through this 6-week program. Well, even before it ends, you'll start to wake up each morning knowing what you want in life and what you'll do that day to create it. You'll be motivated and inspired to take action, or sometimes you'll be motivated to do nothing and just go with the flow and see what happens. Things will start showing up for you in wonderful and unexpected ways. Because the program is aimed at both the conscious and the unconscious levels, you will start to notice things as you get clear about what you want in life, how you want to feel, who you want to be, and what you want to have. You'll start to notice opportunities for making those things happen. And that's really exciting. And I just love when people, there's a private Facebook group associated with the program, and I just love it when people post up that, you know, X has happened or Y has happened. You know, they wanted to study an Italian class and suddenly there's a flyer that comes through their doorway about learning Italian at the local village hall or what have you. So, so that's, you know, that's really brilliant. However, in order for this to happen, and this is the but, you need to commit yourself to the program. You need to stay the course. You really need to show up for yourself and give yourself the opportunity to get started now. So the program really isn't for you if you're not ready to invest time in designing your fabulous future, or if you already started thinking, oh, the dog ate my homework. Because there is a little bit of homework, you know, there's work to do during the program. And it's not too much. I'm a busy mum of 2, and I know that time is very precious and limited, but it is a resource that we have that we can utilise to really focus on ourselves and just grow and develop. I've made Your Life Your Way accessible outside of my one-to-one coaching practice and live retreats, because I know that you can go from where you are to where you want to be using the Your Life Your Way tools and techniques. So here's the details. Your Life Your Way is a virtual classroom. So you log in online with a password, and there's a dedicated website for the program. There are daily lessons that get posted each morning at 9 o'clock, and there are activities for you to complete. So there's downloadable worksheets, workbooks, etc. And obviously you can save them and fill them in online as well, keep them in a folder. You need around about half an hour a day, and the program's structured as well, so that if you miss a couple of days, you can catch up pretty quickly. It's, you know, it's not going to streak ahead at such a pace that you won't be able to catch up or feel a sense of overwhelmment. My background in instructional design and creating learning experiences means that I'm very much aware of making sure that each lesson builds upon itself, so that you feel that you are, each day you're taking something away, some thought, some inspiration, and also that it's manageable for you. You know, you are taking this time out for yourself, and it's really important that what you receive is easy to digest and thought-provoking still, but it's, you know, it's doable and not overwhelming. Each week there'll be 2 group coaching sessions. One is a shorter session, and that basically will kick off the week. So it'll kick off what activities we're going to do, introduce the topic for the week, and then, really just get you started into thinking about that area of your life. And the other one is a coaching session, which will be a live coaching question and answer session. So you'll have some one-on-one-ish time with me, where you can ask any questions at all. You can ask them on the Facebook page beforehand if you like, or you can ask them live. And those sessions will be recorded as well, so that if you happen to miss one, then you'll have access to it. So you won't miss out on any of the great information or the great questions that people have. Sometimes people want to explore the material in a little more detail, or they have questions that they, have only just, thought of that day or what have you. Because I am very active on the Facebook group as well. So I'm on there a couple of times a day at least. I put posts up that are separate to the course, additional information, inspiration and tips. And I'm also there to answer questions, so that if you do feel stuck or you don't want to wait till the coaching call, then I'm absolutely available, for you to ask me those questions. You'll also get beautiful workbooks, worksheets and guides for the program as well, which is brilliant. So today, for being on this call, I've got a special offer available. So it is a special offer for the Your Life, Your Way program. The regular price for this is 397 Australian dollars. And the special bonus for you today is $297. So that's a $100 saving. And a lot of people have said to me, the course is really, it's really inexpensive. It's such great value. The reason for that is that I want these tools and techniques to be accessible to as many people as possible. Some people don't go through the one-to-one coaching, or they may not come on a retreat. So this just makes it really easy and accessible for people to actually purchase it and to acquire those skills and knowledge. Now, there's additional bonuses for being on this webinar. The first 3 people to sign up get a 45-minute one-to-one session with me, which is $97 in value. And the next 3 people to sign up get 3 months of 52 adventures to change your life for free. And the value of that is $27. This is a time-sensitive offer, so it's going to be valid for 48 hours from the screening of this webinar. And then the price will go back to the regular price of $397. The link is on the screen to the right. There should be a buy now button there with a little bit more detail about the offer. And also check your inbox for an email after this webinar this afternoon Australian time, probably in a few hours' time, so that you've got the worksheet for the webinar, so you can answer all those 6 stellar clarity questions. And that will also include the link in the worksheet for you to sign up. So, are there any questions, and what are the next steps? So, next steps are to check your inbox later today or tomorrow for your free downloadable 6 stellar clarity questions worksheet, to take the time to complete the worksheet, to post up your insights on the Facebook page, and also stay tuned for details of upcoming webinars via the Design Your Fabulous Future newsletter. You can actually sign up for that via the website and also on the Facebook page. So if you the link to the Facebook page is there. You can just type in Design Your Fabulous Future and that should come up for you. Okay, so questions. Just have a look here. Okay. Yes, someone's asked, can I ask if you use or know of the secret? Yes, I do know of and use The Secret. The Secret is one of the most powerful books, I think, of our time in terms of the law of attraction. And Rhonda Byrne has really explored the historical perspective of what the law of attraction is, how it originated, and how, you know, people from centuries ago were using this powerful source to actually manifest what they want in life. So it's interesting because The Secret has a lot of great activities in the book that you can do to gain a better understanding of the law of attraction. And there are simple things like manifesting a cup of coffee, for example. Today I'm going to manifest a cup of coffee, and, you know, you get a free cup of coffee somewhere. The Secret is also in movie form. You can download it on the internet, and The Secret has a great website as well that you can use, and there are some audios downloads there as well, which I find great to listen to. Rhonda Byrne's written a number of other books as well. I think the most recent one is called The Hero, but The Secret is something that, you know, I'm very familiar with, and that along with other authors on law of attraction like Jerry and Esther Hicks, and people like that, Wayne Dyer, all of those works I've been really interested in, and you know, I've read voraciously. I love reading and learning. Being from a learning and development environment, I just, you know, I love getting a greater and deeper understanding of things like law of attraction and how we can manifest. And certainly, you know, having that knowledge has meant that I've applied it very much in my own life. And those tools and techniques are things that I share throughout the Your Life, Your Way program as well. So other questions. What is 52 Adventures to Change Your Life? Great question. So on the blog post last week, I posted up a blog about, it was the first in the Clarity series, about the fact that sometimes if we don't know where we are or where we want to go in life, the best way to explore that is to try new things. And 52 Adventures to Change Your Life is an online Facebook community and weekly challenge where each Monday I put up a challenge for the week, so an adventure, and basically what happens is that people go out and they complete that adventure in the week. So the first challenge was writing a letter to your future self. So people went out or got some nice stationery, or there was a tool that I recommended online that people could use to receive an email 12 months from the date that they wrote the letter. And basically that was about how their lives would have changed by having a year filled with adventures, doing new things and trying different things out. We're on our third adventure now, and it's a great Facebook community. The things that people are coming up with when I post the prompt each week are just fabulous. And people are posting photographs of what they've done and all of that kind of thing. So that's wonderful. And they're really inspiring each other as well, which is great. So 52 Adventures, you can join at any time. And as I say, it's easy to catch up, or you can just start with the adventure that's posted for that week, and you get a workbook as well. 52 Adventures is very much, it's very accessible. So it's $1 Australian for the first month, and then $9.97 for every month after that. For 11 months. It's a 12-month program that will wrap up in December. So thanks for the question. The interesting thing about 52 Adventures is that it does really get you out of your comfort zone. So if you are someone who is stuck, doesn't know what to do, it's a great program for that. And so that's why I'm sort of offering the coaching session, one-to-one coaching session with me for the first 3 people to sign up for Your Life, Your Way. And then the next 3 people will get free access to 52 Adventures to Change Your Life. 52 let's just see, there's another question coming through. Okay, so the next question is, what are the areas of focus for Your Life Your Way? Okay, so the areas that we focus on the Your Life Your Way program, we start off with your lifestyle. So that's looking at things like your environment, the places you go, the people that you're with on a regular basis, your home, all of those things. And so we focus on everything that makes up your lifestyle, and that's the first week. Then we move on and we look at your love life and relationships. So it's not just about your romantic relationships, and there are different streams in that week, actually. There's one for people who are already in a relationship, and there's one for people who are looking for love and who are single at the moment. We also look at the relationship with your boss, your co-workers, your family, and different tips and techniques for improving them. How do you want them to be? How do you want relationships and love to show up in your life? We also look, the next week is about your work life. And so that may be, if you're in a job, it may be looking at your job. It may be looking at your business, for example, if you've started a new business or you want to leave the corporate world like I did and start something new. But work life doesn't have to just mean about, going to a regular job. Lots of us do other kinds of work. And, it may be charity work, it may be, parenting, that kind of thing. So in the work week, we really explore how you generate revenue and, how you feel about that area of your life as well. The next week's about money, and that is all about your relationship with your finances. So we look at where you are now, tips and techniques, where do you want to be financially in the future? So that question about what would you do if you had $1 billion is, a bit of an insight there, and can give you a small bit of clarity about that area. And we also look at, some of your beliefs around money. Where did they come from? And we focus on abundance, bringing abundance into your life. The next week's all about your health and well-being. So that's about your physical health, your diet. There's a great free little ebook in there as well that comes with that week. And it's also about your mental and emotional well-being. So, what do you believe? How do you treat yourself? What sort of things do you say to yourself? Your thoughts, etc. So we get really deep into the whole being as being healthy and feeling well and energized and, being in flow and getting great rest and all those wonderful things. And then the last week is all about self-development. So what are the things that you want to do, to explore, to read? So that question on The Secret was a great one. I will be posting up lots of different ideas for book resources, movie resources, audios, etc. Because the self-development journey isn't necessarily just about participating in courses like Your Life Your Way or the upcoming program, Build Your Backbone Sister, or attending webinars like this. It's also, reading books, listening to audio, meditating, spending time doing nothing. There are so many things that self-development actually encompasses. So that week we'll really look at, all of those elements and what you want to do in the next sort of 12 months, 3 years, etc. in terms of, developing yourself and your soul and your spirit. And it's a really lovely way actually to wrap up the program. And the good news is that the program actually, whilst the program materials end, you will still have access to them, and you'll also still have access to your accountability partners, for want of a better phrase, in the Design Your Fabulous in Future community group. So this closed Facebook group for Your Life Your Way. Really great way just to keep each other accountable there. Okay, so another question that I've got here is the 6 stellar clarity questions the only process you'd recommend for getting clarity? No, absolutely not. As I said in the slide deck, it is a process. It's one process, and it was one that I thought it would be useful to share on this webinar, there are many processes that I use in my coaching one-to-one and in Your Life, Your Way and other courses, and also that I've used in the corporate world to help people get really clear about what they want. And I'll be sharing those during the Your Life, Your Way program, and also I'll be hosting another couple of webinars on clarity, taking you through a number of activities to actually get really clear about what you want. Actually, I've got a link here that I can put up for the 52 Adventures. So let me just get that there. Just take that one off and put that one up. So you can see a little bit more about that. Someone's just asking, where do we go? So there's a link there to 52 Adventures. If you go on the website, designyourfabulousfuture.com, you'll see 52 Adventures there. The website actually, by the way, is undergoing a facelift at the moment. And ironically, the reason for the facelift is that I feel, given some of the feedback, that the web page and the website needs to be clearer. So I need to apply some clarity strategies to the website itself. And in fact, if you have got any suggestions about the website, I'd love to hear them. It's in development now, due for release in February. So there's plenty of time to get in with your ideas and suggestions about some changes that can be made. And you can contact me, Lara at designyourfabulousfuture.com, or you can contact me on Facebook through the Facebook page. So there's a couple of ways to get in touch there. I think that is all the questions that we've got so far. And so that really ends this webinar on how to get clarity in your life and get the results you want. I really look forward to seeing you on another webinar, seeing you in the Your Life, Your Way course. And also please make sure you touch base and are in touch on the webpage. Okay, have a fantastic day, and thank you so much for being part of this webinar. I'm Lara Young from Design Your Fabulous Future. Thank you.